Okay, I'm here, I think. Okay, perfect. Welcome to our weekly live practice. I'm Joanna. I'll be with you for the next 45 minutes. And in today's class, we are going to be focusing on chair yoga. This is a style of yoga that I teach myself in senior centers and retirement homes. So I know how valuable it is to our students, not just in those settings, but maybe some of the things we do today you'll be able to bring into your yoga studio classes where it is mat-based. So we're always looking for ways to make yoga more accessible to as many people as we can. And this is just another way to encourage more people to get involved and to try it out without the worry of having to come up and down off a mat. So if you would like to participate today, you will need a chair. So you'll see I have my chair behind me, and this chair has no arms. That's pretty important because when we get into arm mobility, you don't want to be knocking your forearms or elbows against the chair. So a chair with no arms is preferable. However, if you do have students who are not steady in a chair, then they might prefer to have the arms there just to help support them on either side of the body and as little aids to hold on to during the class. You also want a chair that has a back, so making sure that you have that support to lean into, especially when we come into Shavasana. So that's important. And then the other two things I have is a blanket that's currently sitting on the chair. That can be used as a little bit of cushioning for the seat or for the back of the chair if you want some padding there, if there isn't any. It can also be used for Shavasana or just to weight the tops of the legs so that they feel more grounded. And then on the floor here, I have a little chip foam block, which I always encourage my students to grab because we're often practicing on cold, hard, concrete floors, or community center flooring that's not really set up for these kinds of classes. So I get the students to put their feet on this chip foam block. So shoes off, they can keep their socks on, but feet to the foam block, not just for insulation, but also if their feet don't quite touch the floor, they can use this option as a little space filler. So those are all the things you need. I have placed my chair today on my mat. That's purely because my mat was already there and I just plopped it on top. You can do this too. If the floor is quite slippy where you're practicing and the chair doesn't have good grip on the floor, then put the mat down first, put the chair on top is a great option. You can see for me, I've just kept it long ways like I usually have. But if you wanted to, you could turn the mat the other way so it's forward facing. And that way you've got an extra layer of insulation and grip on the floor for the feet. Make sense? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to guide you through a practice. Feel free to take notes, feel free to participate, take bits from this that you need for your own classes, and let's get going. So I am going to actually put my blanket on the back of the chair to begin. Just because this is a hard wooden chair, it might be nice to have the cushioning on the back of the chair. Feel free to sit on your blanket. Feel free to put the blanket over the tops of the legs. And then the feet are on the chip foam block. Feet are hip distance apart and the toes are facing directly forwards. You want to check in that you feel steady to the middle of the chair. So just wiggle and adjust the pelvis. And at the very beginning of every class, I encourage students to sit up and out of the back of the chair. This way, we are sitting in a version of Sukhasana, easy pose, where the back is strengthening, the spine is tall, we're creating lots of space for the digestive system and the vital organs of the front of the body. And we can start to think about posture and alignment in this place. Now, as the practice unfolds, I encourage students to remain in this upright position for as much of the class as they can, so that they can build that strength, they can build that stability, they can build that good posture. But of course, if they get tired, if they need a break, then you can always encourage them to lean into the back of the chair, take a breath, relax, reset, and then join back in sitting upright when they're ready. So that's just how I begin every class. So you can start with your hands on your thighs, closing your eyes or bringing your gaze down to the floor. And we'll start by receiving our breath. So take a big inhale through the nose and a cleansing exhale from the mouth. And a big inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. One more time in and out. And then return to a steady, natural breath, nothing forced or held. For this practice, we will move from the crown of the head down to the tips of the toes. We'll work in that order, mobilizing and lubricating the joints, all from a seated position. I invite you to keep your focus and attention on the area that we are working in any specific given moment. Invite breath to those spaces. Invite mindful movement to those spaces. And let us see how we feel by the end of the class. So as you sit right now, notice the body, any areas that are calling your attention, any areas that need a bit more love today. And let's see if this class can help us. You can begin by rubbing the soles of your hands together until you feel some heat, some tapas, some warmth building between the hands. When you have enough heat built between the hands, cup the hands around the eyes and take a big breath in and a big breath out. And again, rub the hands together. This time, place the hands on a body part that is in need of a little extra love, care, and attention today. Let the heat from the hands warm that area. Take a big inhale, breathe into that space, and a big exhale. And one more time, rub the hands together. Maybe you place the hands back on the same area of the body, or maybe there is another area of the body that needs this warmth. Place the hands and breathe in and breathe out. Now place your hands back on your thighs, palms facing down, and begin to bow your chin to your chest. We're breathing into the back of the neck. Take 3 breaths here, ironing out any tightness, any tension you've been carrying with you. Take an inhale breath and roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Take 3 breaths like this. And bow your chin back to your chest. Inhale, roll your left ear to your left shoulder. And repeat 3 more breaths. Bring your chin back to your chest. Let's repeat that. Inhale, roll your right ear to your right shoulder. This time, letting the left arm dangle down the side of the chair if that feels comfortable. Encouraging more length and breath, not just into the neck, but around the shoulder and down the left arm. If you'd like, you could start moving that left arm, exploring movement, moving the arm forwards and back like you're moving it through thick honey or water. Maybe you add in a little bit of movement to the wrist. Maybe you move that hand and arm in a figure 8 shape, or simply forwards and back, or out and in. Get creative. See how the arm wants to move. And then bring your hand back to your thigh and bow your chin back to your chest. Take an inhale and roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Relaxing your right arm down the side of the chair. Breathing into the neck. And maybe begin movement of the right arm forwards and back, or out and in. We're in a figure 8, or circling the wrist. This is mindful movement. You'll notice as the practice unfolds that we aren't just here moving our physical body and that's it. This is an integrated practice of movement, of breath, of bringing your mind and focus back to presence. It's a meditative, moving experience. So not only may you feel physical benefits from this class, but you might also feel calmer or more grounded. You may have soothed your nervous system and be feeling a little more settled. Let's see. Bring your hand back to your thigh and your chin back to your chest. Slowly lift the head back to center. And now interlace both hands to the back of the head, or lightly tap the fingertips to the back of the head. Elbows wide, lift your chest and start to look up, leaning your head into the support of your hands. Relax your shoulders down your back and breathe here. Breathe into your chest and heart. Breathe into your throat. And come all the way back to neutral and lower your hands onto your thighs. Take a big breath in. Cleansing breath out. Now let's continue with the head and neck and build in coordination. So on your next inhale, point your chin to the top right-hand corner of the room for you. And then exhale, bring your chin to the bottom left-hand corner of the room for you. Inhale your chin to the top left-hand corner of the room. Exhale, take the chin to the bottom right-hand corner of the room. And let's do that again. Inhale, lift the chin to the top right-hand corner of the room. Exhale, bottom left-hand corner. Inhale, top left-hand corner. Exhale, bottom right-hand corner. And then coming back to center. Inhale, lift both of your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders down your back. And again, inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. One more cycle. Inhale. Exhale. Let's place the hands on the shoulders. Inhale the elbows forwards and up. Exhale the elbows wide and down. Two more of those. Inhale forwards and up. Exhale wide and down. Last cycle. Inhale to lift. Exhale to widen and lower. Keep with this momentum. Now extend your arms forwards and long and all the way up to the sky as you inhale. As you exhale, widen the arms down by your sides. Again, this is a moving meditation. Inhaling both arms up to the sky with the inhale breath. Waiting at the top for the exhale breath before the arms start to descend. One more time. Inhale forwards and up. Exhale wide and down. Beautiful. Hands on your thighs, focusing just on the right arm now. Inhale the right arm forwards and up. And then exhale the right arm back and down. Now feel free to follow this right hand with your gaze. And that may encourage the upper body to come into a gentle twist as you start to look back behind you. Again, you're moving with the breath. So every inhale, the arm is lifting up. And every exhale, the arm is floating down. You're making this big circle, this big mandala. Just noticing how every part of the movement feels. And let's take one more circle, inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. And come back to center, take a big breath in, big breath out. These clearing breaths between sides help with the releasing process, help to remove any stagnant stale energy we've been carrying with us. They are clearing, they are cleansing, they are purifying. So enjoy those moments. Second side, inhale left arm forwards and up to the sky. Exhale, taking that left arm back and down. Again, you can follow the left hand with your gaze. Opening up the chest as you look back, coming into a gentle twist. And then all the way back to center. Keep following the hand in this way, in this simple but very effective mobility exercise. If you need to keep more bend in those elbows, that's also available. If you don't want to twist so much today, that's fine too. You just take your arm in a circle that works for you. As you get more integrated into this practice, like any practice of movement on our yoga mats or in our chair, you might start to close your eyes from time to time, just listening to the guided word And going more inward by having the eyes soft to the floor or closed completely, so that you can really feel into your intuitive body in every moment, making it even more meditative, even more mindful. Let's take one more circle this way. Perhaps you're feeling the warmth from your shoulder. And then place your hands on your thighs. Take a big breath in. Cleansing breath out. So you can see we're moving down the body. Let us now draw our attention to our spine and our torso. So from here, we'll take seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, you'll tilt your tailbone back, bringing your belly and chest forwards, and lift your chin. And as you exhale, you'll round your spine and look towards your belly button. Inhale, forwards and up. Maybe slide your hands up your thighs, hugging your elbows back. Exhale, hands to knees, rounding the back in cat pose. One more cycle. Inhale, forwards and up. And exhale to round. Inhale all the way back to center and exhale your breath. Place your left hand on your right thigh and your right hand on the back of your chair seat. Inhale, sit nice and tall. Exhale, turn your pelvis to the right, followed by your belly, your rib cage, and your head. Stay here, inhaling to lengthen the spine, and exhaling to maybe add a bit more twist if needed. You can take 2 more cycles like this. Inhale to lift. Exhale to twist. Inhale to extend. Exhale to twist. Use your inhale to come all the way back to center. Exhale, land your hands on your legs. Inhale your breath. Exhale your breath. Now bow your chin to your chest and let us slide our hands down the fronts of our legs, folding our rib cage over our thighs. Now some of you might rest forearms to thighs, leaning forwards with the chest, looking at the floor in front of your feet, and that will be more than enough fold. Others of you will slide your hands down your shins towards your ankles maybe, or your feet, or maybe fingertips on the floor. And you might also look at the floor in front of you, or you might lower your head and look under your chair. Only lowering the head if you feel comfortable. If you have high blood pressure or vertigo or dizziness or acid reflux, you might not want to lower the head so much. You might want to keep the head and heart on a similar line. This shape is a forward fold, and it's a great way to create space in the back of the hips. It's a nice release for the lower back. See if you can actively send your breath there. And then press into your feet and start to roll up through your spine until your hands return to your thighs. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. These clearing breaths keep coming back to us throughout the class. Right hand on your left thigh, left hand near the back of the chair seat. Inhale, sit nice and tall to begin. Exhale, start the twist from the pelvis. So turn the pelvis left, belly and chest left, and then the head. The reason we start the twist from the pelvis is so that the whole spine is integrated in the twist. It's not just happening from the belly button up, it's all the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Keep taking your inhales here for length, and exhale to increase twist. And again, inhale for length, exhale to twist. One more, inhale, and exhale. Use your inhale to come all the way back to center. Exhale, land your hands. Take a big breath in and a cleansing breath out. Let us continue with the side body and the hips by walking our feet wide now. So you're going to turn your toes out and turn your heels in. Your knees are wide, and maybe you'll sit a little more to the front of your chair. We'll start here just by pressing our hands to the inner thighs and actively widening these legs, opening up the hips, sitting tall. This is stretching the adductor muscles of the inner thighs and into the pelvis. This is a variation on Malasana, Yogi squat. It looks a lot like goddess pose. Breathe into this space. It's also a great alternative to butterfly pose that we would do seated or reclined. And then place those hands onto the tops of the thighs. Inhale your right arm into the sky. Hug your lower ribs in. And lean to the left with your left hand on the left thigh or left forearm on the left thigh. This is a version of extended side angle. You're rooting down through the pelvis. You're keeping the chest facing forwards, the top arm long overhead. You can stay here or place the top hand behind the head, adding in a variation. Chest open, maybe looking up to your top elbow as you inhale. As you exhale, maybe rounding the back, pulling the belly button in, and bringing that right elbow towards your opposite thigh. You can do that again. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Last one. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Lovely. Inhale to open. This time come all the way to sit up, using your core to lift you. Exhale, hands on your thighs. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Same on the second side. Left arm floats up to the sky. Leaning to the right with your right hand or right forearm supporting you on your thigh. Keeping length and lift through both sides of the waist. Extending through your top arm. Stay here or top hand behind the head. Inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, round the back, elbow towards opposite thigh. Again, inhale to open. Exhale to round. Just coming as far into this as is comfortable. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Inhale to open all the way back up to a tall seat. Exhale, hands to your legs. We'll add on from here, continuing with lubricating the hips by coming into Sufi Grind. So you can choose which direction you go in, but what we're simply doing is creating a big circle with the upper body over the lower body. So imagine your pelvis is the bowl and your spine is the wooden spoon. Think about your breath with the movement. So anytime you're leaning forwards, let this be on the inhale breath. And anytime you're rolling back, let this be on the exhale breath. And really do go at your pace. Pause along these pathways. If there's any sweet spot you want to get into for a few more breaths, take a break if this is creating any dizziness or nausea. Let's do one more circle this way, and then quite simply change direction. Big, loose circles, warming the hips, warming the back, massaging your digestive system. One more big circle this way. And back to center. Let's move into a version of goddess pose. So bringing the arms up, elbows in line with your shoulders, palms facing forwards. You can keep flat feet to the floor if that's more steady, or you can come up onto the balls of your feet now, stretching the arches of the feet. Up to you. Let's integrate everything we've done right now, this mobility work for the arms and upper body and hips. We're going to inhale and squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows back behind us, lifting the chest and chin. And as you exhale, you'll bow your chin to your chest, bring the elbows and fingertips to touch in front of you. Again, inhale to open the chest, look up, elbows wide. Exhale to close these gates and look down. One more time, inhale to open. And exhale to close. Nice. Bring your hands to your heart space, Anjali Mudra. And you can keep your heels up, or you can lower your heels at this point. Inhale, arms into a T. Exhale, right arm over the left arm. Hug your shoulder blades, or wrap your forearms and hands together in full expression of eagle arms, keeping your elbows high as your shoulders. Again, take an inhale, lift your chin and chest to the sky. Exhale, round your back, bringing your elbows towards your belly button. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Again, if this is creating too much in your body, then just stay in a more neutral position. Let's take one more cycle if you're coming up, and then exhale, rounding. Come all the way back to center, uncross your arms, put your hands on your thighs, take a big breath in, and a smooth breath out. Second side of that, inhale, arms in a T. Exhale, left arm over the right one. Either stay here holding your shoulder blades, giving yourself a hug, or wrapping those forearms and hands together. Either option is creating some wonderful space in your shoulder blades. Stay like this or add in the movement element. Inhale, lifting the chest, the chin, the elbows up. Exhale, rounding the spine, elbows towards belly button. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One last cycle. Inhale to lift. And exhale to round. Beautiful. Come all the way back to center. Unravel those arms, hands on your thighs. Big breath in. Smooth breath out. Let's shuffle our feet back onto our block. And now we're going to extend our legs forwards and long. Now I've just moved back a little bit so my feet remain in the frame. You can push your chip foam block or your little padded blanket out in front of you so your heels still have something to rest against. And you might like to shuffle a little closer to the edge of the chair. Now, this is something we would also do in a mat-based class. We might choose to sit up on a block and sit right on the edge of that block so that our pelvic bowl tilts forwards and in the direction that we want to move. We're coming into a seated forward fold here for the hamstrings. So hands on the chair, feet are your hip distance apart. You can keep a softness in the knees or push away with the soles of the feet so the legs get longer. Take an inhale breath here. As you exhale, hinge forwards from your hips and start to look towards your toes. If you would prefer to have your hands on your thighs or sliding your hands down your shins or towards your feet, you are more than welcome to do that. But if you feel more steady with the hands to the chair, then keep them there. Try not to look too far down towards your belly button or your thighs. Try and lean your chest forwards and look towards your toes. We know our hamstrings are often quite tight, so we need to give them a little extra time, a little extra love, a little extra breath. Let's take 3 more breaths where we are. And then start to slide the hands up the legs and hands back on the chair. Now bring your legs together and just start to wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, bring in a bit of lubrication down into the feet. And now we're going to point the feet down towards the floor, legs together, hands on the back of the seat of the chair. So you're leaning into your hands. Roll your shoulders at back and down. Bring the shoulder blades towards one another as you lift your chest and your chin towards the sky. The fish pose, an opening for the heart, the digestive system, the front of the legs and feet. And then come back to a more neutral spine. And here is a lovely opportunity to actually lean into the back of your chair, especially if you've gone the whole class without leaning in the chair so far. This might feel really good. We've still got both legs extended in front of us. We're just going to take one more exercise to create a bit more length in the hip flexors. So here you are pushing the soles of the feet forwards again and extending the legs. Now already you're creating some lovely space in the front of the hips. If that's enough for you today, stay where you are. If you want to come along for a few more add-ons, you can. So we're going to bend the right knee and have the right foot on the floor. Maybe that's enough for you. Just continue pushing the sole of that left foot forwards. Or bring the right knee towards your chest and hold onto your hamstrings, the back of your right leg, or around your right shin. And as you bring that right knee into the chest, you're still pushing away with the sole of that left foot. This may create a deeper line of stretch for you. Spend a couple of breaths, focusing the breath down into the lower belly. And then you can return that right heel to the floor, bend the left knee, have the left foot to the floor, or bring the left knee into the chest. Hugging the knee towards you, extending the right foot away from you, relaxing your shoulders. This is knee to chest pose or wind release pose. 3 breaths into the lower belly. And then extending both of your legs in front of you. And here is where we get nice and comfy and cozy for Ashavasana. So legs can be wide and relaxed. You might now put the blanket on top of you for weight or warmth. You might let your arms relax down the sides of the chair, or rest your hands on your thighs or on your lower belly, wherever feels comfortable, relaxed, grounding for you. You might close your eyes here, or I find some students actually bring little eye masks to class just to shield out any remaining light. Here you give yourself full permission for rest and digest. No more to do. If you have longer to dedicate to your Shavasana today, then please stay where you are. If it's time for you to come out, you can begin to bring awareness back into your body, adding a little bit of movement to your fingers and toes, to your wrists and ankles, moving the head side to side, taking a nice full stretch. And as you exhale, you can come back to a tall seat with your feet rooting down onto your prop in front of you, sitting in the middle of your chair with your hands either on your thighs or joined together in Anjali Mudra, the heels of the hands and the fingertips, the finger pads, touching a little gap between the hands like there's a nesting bird there. This is a symbol of offering and devotion to yourself, your practice. So take a couple of moments to be in gratitude and to notice how the experience has been a benefit to you. Let us close our practice with a sealing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thank you so much for your time, your energy. It's my pleasure to guide you always. I hope this was a benefit to you, and I will see you here again very soon. Namaste.